live from an undisclosed location just outside of New Orleans. It's The Scoop. Tonight, we have a very special guest, Brawla. Without further ado, here's your hosts, Devin and Pickle. Welcome to another episode of The Scoop. So, Mr. Devin, how are you this evening?
Not too good.
Too good.
Had some car problems this morning.
I did see some updates about this. So what happened?
At the same time, I also had some stomach problems caused by some milk.
You didn't poop again, did you?
Well, there was a plastic bag in the side of the road.
You shit in a bag and threw it on the side of the road. Good job.
I threw it off the road. It was so bad. Is
that why the catfish tastes shitty?
Yeah.
It's because you're throwing bags of shit off of bridges.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm driving to work, and I just see parts flying out back behind me. That's not really good, so I pulled off to the side. And
yes, that is not good.
No, car was rattling apart. Luckily, I had some AAA roadside assistance to help me, but while I was waiting in the 2 hours, close to 3 hours, my stomach was there was a war going on inside me.
You had the bubble guts.
I had the bubble guts, and it was like a dam breaking. My butthole was the dam, and the water was the liquid shit coming out of my ass.
Into a plastic bag.
Yeah, I was on the side of I-55, opened both my doors, and I'm in uniform, and I'm like half my butt on my car seat off to the side, and I have a plastic bag, and I'm just going in that bag, and threw it off the side of the road. So that's how my morning started. How was your day?
I had work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, nothing too adventurous. I did not have to shit in a bag, so...
Hey, you haven't lived.
My day is better than yours already.
Hey, and my God, after I had done this, I was like, please, for the love of God, have napkins in this car. I did have napkins, by the way, so you don't have to worry.
Thanks, Taco Bell. Not a sponsor.
Another sponsor. Great coming in, horrible coming out. No, but that's pretty much it. What have you been up to?
Let's see. Working a lot. Working on the podcast here and there.
What's up with this train set?
I am hoping to be working on it this week.
That's good.
I want to finally get the Mardi Gras parade all set up.
I want to go.
Even though it's not even Mardi Gras anymore. Yeah.
Any movies in the theater right now?
There
Spider-Man Homecoming?
I have not seen Spider-Man yet.
I haven't seen it. I haven't really heard anything about it either.
I've heard a couple reviews that said it's pretty good.
I've heard people going, but they don't talk about it. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, just from like, Not Row Radio and M-Hog and miscellaneous friends that I know that have seen it, they've, spoke highly of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to go and see it. I just haven't had time to break away and go see it.
Wasn't the Pink Floyd concert last week?
I think it was 2 weeks ago now.
Did we cover that?
No, we didn't.
Let's talk about that. Or
well, the Roger Waters.
The Roger Waters concert
show.
Yeah. What'd you think? All right. Overall, excluding politics, how was the concert?
I enjoyed it. I thought that the band was spot on.
Mm-hmm.
The one aspect I did like a lot of the visual show that he had going on. the pyramid thing that he did during
The laser.
Eclipse
Yeah.
and Brain Damage.
Hmm.
That was pretty cool.
I was wondering what those. There's two beams in the audience, and I was like, "What the hell is that for?" We saw the box on top of the stadium, like, "Oh, it has to be like an inflatable or something," and it came down and it was inflatable, and like it was near the end of the concert. I'm like, he still hasn't used those things. What the hell are those? And I see smoke coming out for the lasers for the pyramid, and I was like, "Oh, poison gas."
That's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna kill us with poison.
Yeah. No, but they made the pyramid with lasers, and they had the rainbow shooting through it. It was really cool. From the side, I couldn't really see I saw the pyramid. I just didn't see the colored lasers. But seeing other people's photos from who were in front and center and up, it was really cool because it actually did the color spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
One aspect that I am a little bit critical of is going in, I knew that yes, there would be some political stances that were made within the show.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Waters and Pink Floyd always had some political takes. Yeah, I mean, The Wall, for God's sakes, I mean, I thought that some of it, it was a little overbearing. That the beginning of of the second half was all his anti-Trump propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that I'm a Trump fan or a Trump hater. It's just, I didn't want to go see.
You have to deal with it all
Yeah.
day.
I mean, you see it on social media all day.
I didn't.
You see it in the news all day where they're bitching and moaning about, Trump or
Trump.
Yeah.
Trump.
So, and for him to have made it to where, like, the first 2 or 3 songs of the second half of his set were, the visuals were all bad talking Trump, which, again, I'm not a fan of Trump. I didn't vote for him. But
hey, you don't have to tell people that you didn't vote for him.
Well, I didn't.
Who did you vote for? Bernie?
No. Actually,
Gary Johnson?
I did.
Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So I thought that kind of was a little bit of a turn off per se.
Yeah, well, like,
not enough to make me leave the fucking show, like,
because you paid for the tickets.
Yeah, I mean,
How much were your tickets?
My tickets were, I think, like $40 a piece, something
That's
like that.
not bad.
Or I think it was $50 with all the Ticketmaster bullshit and arena fees and whatever else in there.
That's not bad. No, so like I hated some of the people like they're like, well, obviously you're not a Pink Floyd fan if you didn't know he was gonna do something, political. And I'm like, I am a Pink Floyd fan, but I've never been in their concert.
That was my first time seeing any member of Pink Floyd live in concert besides, like YouTube videos of, the Live from Berlin or, past Pink Floyd concerts.
And I was with people who have seen the Wall, Wall concert and seen that live, and they're saying that nothing compares to that. It was a good concert, and everything sounded fine, but it visually doesn't compare to the Wall concert. Apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean the Wall. There's a lot of history of it, with the movie, to where a lot of people can understand the story more by seeing the visuals of the movie and the story that's portrayed with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But one other thing that I will say is I would have liked to see Roger Waters do more of his other solo work.
Mm-hmm.
That one of my favorite albums by him is Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. I would have liked to see something from that, or Amused Death or Radio Chaos. But I understood that, I mean, it was his tour for his album that he just put out, which I haven't really had a whole ton of exposure to it going into the concert. So I didn't really have an opinion on.
I thought it was.
I
I
mean,
thought it was
the
good.
music sounded good,
Yeah, it was better than some other stuff I've heard.
but I would have liked to see, I guess a little bit more of his catalog, his solo catalog,
Yeah.
other
Well,
than
it's just
just from that album.
well, it's a lot of people. He has to appease because there's people there that really don't listen to his solo albums or his solo career like you do. So he has to kind of like, hey, they're probably gonna expect some Pink Floyd songs.
Well,
so,
yeah, I mean, going in, I knew that, yes, he was one of the principal songwriters in Pink Floyd, and he was going to play a lot of the greatest hits, shall we call it, of Pink Floyd. But again, I mean, he picked the right songs to play from Floyd, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm glad I got to see him. I got every single time as one of the songs started, I would get chills. Like it was a very surreal moment for me. I wouldn't say I was bawling, but like a few tears came out of my eye. A few tears came out of my eyes. Because I was so happy to be there and actually see something like that.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
I mean, I've seen. Previously, I had seen. I think they were called Another Brick in the Wall. Maybe it was a
The Pink
the
Floyd,
Pink Floyd tribute act.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, the lights and visual, or the visual team that Roger Waters uses, is that same team that goes around with
Another Brick
that
in the Wall.
with that tribute act.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was high caliber back then. That was several years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, just overall takeaway from the concert. One or two songs out of 2.5 hours were visually had some Trump anti-Trump stuff, and it wasn't even that bad. It was the stuff from Facebook, but songs they played were great, and I mean I had a great time. There's just the only thing that bothered me is people started smoking, just blazing it up, and I was just like, I had to
Well,
put
again,
my shirt up.
to be expected at a Pink Floyd concert.
And I'm sorry I'm straight edge, but they're like, and there were people I was with were like, hey, let me see that, and like passing people, complete strangers, just taking doobies, and I'm there, I can't smoke, so I'm covering my face up, and there's this one trick like down to the right of me, just like, and I have video of it. I don't know if I don't think I posted it, but she's like just doing this. She was feeling it. Her and her husband were feeling it, and just the entire like. Do you remember that song? It's one of the new ones, but it was the chick dancing.
Oh yeah.
And dreaming of her daughter.
Yes.
She was mimicking that the entire time, and we're like, "Oh, we didn't know there was gonna be a shadow cast." And we were making jokes about it the entire time, but that's what made the concert for me is the chick tripping and trying to shadow cast the visuals. But other than that, I had a great time, and I'm glad I went.
Yeah, I am definitely glad that I went. Again, the biggest thing that I would have liked to see was just a little bit more of his catalog, his solo catalog. But
Yeah.
I did see 2.5 hours of fucking music. I can't complain too much, you know.
Yeah. Like whenever I went and saw Morrissey, I think it was like an hour and 30 minutes. Well, it wasn't even that long, and it was like his new stuff wasn't even that good. It was like this Spanish take, he had a Spanish flair to it.
Let's see. So Devin, besides that, Have you been to any roller derby things?
I did. I went to the running of the bulls.
You did. How was it?
Oh man, the villains. I'm pretty sure it was villains and heroes. No, it was the Clash of the Titans mashup, and the Titans, the good guys, lost bad. Um, like one of their, like it was like 200 to like 100. I think it was just a landslide. It was a good game. There's one person had an injury, but it's expected to be at that game, especially because it was a co-ed, male versus female, and some of those females, it's like a Chihuahua. They're small, but they got big. They have a big, like, oh, I'm big, and try to go and take on one of those guys that are skating at them, and they're like they're like, get knocked over. It was a good game. It was a good turnout this year, and it was cool. Luckily, it wasn't hot. It was like overcast all day. But it was a good game. That's pretty much it. I didn't go to the actual running of the bulls just because I've gone for the past 6 years, and it is hot as all hell to go stand.
Yeah, because it's 8 or 9 in the morning, running through downtown.
And you got to get there at 7.
Yeah.
It starts at 8, I think. And people are drinking and running, and it's just like you're just right next to everyone. Nothing's changed to make me want to go again this year. The games, but I love the games. I love sitting this year. I didn't really take too many photos. I just kind of sat and put my camera on the tripod. I just wanted to relax for this game, and it was a good game, very eventful, and the people that they chose really did put on the show.
I guess we should break a semi-fourth wall. Something that you'll see during the interview is we had a green screen up in here, and it's actually in front of us still.
Yeah.
So we're starting to mess around a little bit with that.
Yeah, we're starting to mess around with the greens. I've been meaning to like mess around with it just because that's just a good aspect of comedy that we can throw in there and get a few laughs.
Yeah, while we were dicking around with it, we put ourselves on the beach.
We went to Paris. We were in the desert. Deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah, we're having some. I have a few ideas that should be coming up very soon with that little green screen.
Well, I look forward to what we put out there with it.
Yeah. Got some new lights. I've been really investing in some more lighting equipment and, some visual stuff.
So stay tuned with us, and you'll continue to see some of the improvements that Devin here is talking about with the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really all the
Ketchup.
catch-up stuff that I had.
What about the mustard?
No mustard.
No mustard.
No mustard. So we do have a special interview tonight. I had the chance to sit down with Mr. Brawla from Raise the Death Toll. He also put out a compilation CD of a bunch of the local bands called Bands in Your Backyard. We'll talk about that and a lot more during the interview. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my interview with Brawla. And welcome back. So we are joined here by longtime friend, Mr. Brawla. Brawla, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good, man. Kind of buzzed, enjoying the train track behind me. I'm not trying not to look at myself on the imagery up there. I just try to stay over here and try not to blush either. I already see my cheeks turning red.
So, Brawla, we go a good ways back. I remember you from back in the Agrofate days.
Yes.
I remember we did one of the NOLA Party Christmas Drive shows.
You look a little different. from
Yeah.
that day. You shaved your white beard off. You're not. I mean, you are just as jolly. But yeah, that was a good 2 days in a row. Because I remember having to wake up early and went to the children's hospital.
Yeah, that night we did the show at Keystones,
Yeah.
and the following day we went and delivered the presents.
Had to wake
And-
up real early for that one, which was nice. It was really cool, man, to do that. I've never done nothing like that before. I'd like to do it again, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
And you
mean,
were Santa.
to see the kids' faces light up, I mean, that was epic, you
Right.
know? In fact, if I remember correctly, on that night, you actually played a prank on Santa to where you called Santa up from his throne and you ordered, I believe it was 8 shots of Jaeger, and you got 4 young ladies who were in the crowd.
But it was a contest. The
Yeah.
contest was if you could do the shot faster than Santa Claus. But in my head, I was thinking trying to involve the girls.
Right.
But in my head, I guess I could apologize because I didn't realize you would have to do the other 4 shots against the 4 girls each time.
Well, it was still a great night.
I bet it was.
I remember when I stepped outside afterwards, Tony
You remember
was
stepping outside?
barely. I
Okay.
remember Tony just saying, "Don't throw up in the Santa suit. Santa needs to be at Children's Hospital tomorrow."
But you still made it.
I
mean, we all
made it. I made it.
But I didn't think about that. I was just thinking like a shot with Santa, not thinking, all right, well, this guy's got to do 4 shots against each girl. And I don't even know who won because, I mean, a shot's a shot. I mean, you're
Yeah, it's
supposed
a
to
shot.
just,
Yeah.
what was the race? Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, you was pretty lit, man. You was a good
I
sport
was.
about it. You did every shot.
I did.
Did you throw up?
I did
don't-
not.
Okay.
I did not. So, Agrafate, I mean, I think you really came back into the scene again with an Agrafate reunion show, if I remember correctly.
For my birthday 2 years ago.
Yes.
For as far as I know, unless somebody could correct me after seeing this, which I'm still humbled by because, you know, I haven't played in a minute. And I was using the birthday as like a guilt trip to the other guys to get like a show just because I missed the stage and I wanted to play again. And that Twist the Lime thing, man, we broke Goat Whore's attendance record, but like
I
20
remember
people.
there was a sea of people at that show.
And it was raining because usually as a local
Yeah.
show, you know, everybody plays. You know, I mean, for the most part, you can't help it. I mean, especially if you're just a local band, you're playing in the same area once a month. You know, every month, once a month. Before it to be raining, that could kill a show, and then it was raining too. So
yeah,
I mean,
it was
like,
raining cats and dogs that night, but it
And-
was still
Oh yeah,
a sea of people.
And that was the first thing, and that was also Resurface's first show. I think Enclave was just starting, and then Through It Was also got together for that night as well, and that got the juices flowing to, I guess, come back. Because then I keep thinking it was last year. This year was the other band I was in did the birthday show, and that was the kind of introduction of the new band I'm in right now.
Right. The Unwilling Commencement was
This
Well,
year.
well,
That was the second band.
yes.
Yeah, and that was this birthday show.
Yeah. So, and every single one of your birthday shows are a huge turnout show.
Well, I mean, I've only had 2 of them. I don't know if I've been asked to have another one, but I don't know if I want to. The first one was kind of coming into grips of going into my 30s, and I haven't done it in a while. And you know, to me, Agrafate had something special in the New Orleans area because it just seemed it was just more a positive scene. The bands got along. Nobody dissed everybody. It was prior to like the Facebook generation,
Right,
to
where
not everything was overexposed. You know, like when Agrafate started, it was right before the MySpace era, so not every opinionist in that was online, and people were still flyering.
Yeah, back in the days where literally flyering was
The only way.
The
to
only
get it
way,
out.
yeah.
Like you had to go to Hot Topic, and they was cool enough to put your flyer in a little binder, and kids would go there and look at the flyer, the flyer binder to see what was going on. But that was a very special part of my life. So for my birthday, going into my 30s, I didn't know if everybody was going to say yes, and they did, and that's how that birthday show started. And with it being a success, I wanted to do it with the other band I was in, and that one kind of turned out to be pretty cool too. But I don't know if I want to do it. Like, I don't know if it's something I would try to do every year, like maybe play it out or see if I'm still able to do it, and if I don't have an injury yet, and maybe I do it on my 40th birthday.
Well, it's ironic that you say an injury because it seems like every time that I see you, you do definitely stage dive as well.
Well, the last one,
Yeah, there was one at I think
it
Allie's
was
birthday, was it? Where you dove into Don Cooper and
no, that was my birthday show.
oh, was it your
That
birthday?
was this year for the Deto's first one. While I'm up there, and me and alcohol, we don't see eye to eye because I try to drink to kill the butterflies. So once the butterflies are killed and I get to that certain point, it's like, oh man, everything's tasting like water now. I'm still going. And that, I mean, we was, I think, the second band because Jared and Mike that fill in for Death Toll played
Right.
by you. They was the first one. And it felt like I was going to float forward. So if anything, I was like, all right, it'd be less, in my head, damaging if I landed on my back than my face. So as I was going forward, I flipped, thinking, all right, hey, I didn't hit nobody. I'm good. I'm still screaming. But when I got up, I mean, unfortunately, even though he's a cool guy, he took it very well. That's how I met Don Cooper.
Don Cooper, yeah.
I met him because he hasn't got up yet. I'm like, all right, he's going to get up in a second. So I got on stage, and I look back, and he's still down. And I keep looking, and he's still down. I was like, man, anything I could do to get a picture of, like, let me buy you a drink, this and that. But he still cracks jokes about it this day.
Oh yeah. Every time I'll see him, he'll be like,
He was a good sport about it.
yeah.
But I thought I jumped on somebody else, or I didn't hit nobody. I didn't feel it. But, I mean, he was down for like a good minute, and I was like, oh, that's the last thing, because crowd surfing is frowned upon big time in the music industry all around, like especially Warped Tour. I don't know if you see the signs. For something that started off
Basically at Warped Tour and
applauding
shows
it.
up
Now their sign, which I wouldn't have their sign to say this, their sign says crowd surfing is for losers. I would think go about it, just tell them why. I wouldn't call you a loser if you're crowd surfer, considering that used to be the foundation of, to me, crowd surfing, like a big festival like that, like punk and this and that. But to say crowd surfing for losers, which understandably, somebody my size, I mean, I could have, all jokes aside, I could have hurt Don Cooper. I could have hurt anybody, like to have some, I'm almost 300 pounds to land on somebody's head. I didn't think about that. But yeah, I'm glad he likes me and he still wants to take pictures of the band or whatnot. But yeah, that was the birthday show this year that I jumped on Don Cooper's head. So now we're friends. I think we became friends on Facebook the next day, and even though he's a guy that takes pictures, I hope he doesn't have nightmares of picturing that in his head.
Just in loop pictures of you leaping, doing the 360.
I'm saying he takes pictures all the time. I just, for the most part, I hope he doesn't picture that all the time. Even though I think literally he just cracked a joke asking if I'm gonna sing the song "I Believe I Could Fly" or something else. I forgot what he said, but I'm like, oh man, because I really do feel bad about that. Because it did take a while for him to stand up.
But with that being said, you and a lot of your posse, I mean, you've mentioned Jared, you mentioned Michael, you mentioned Daniel. Anytime that you see definitely you and Jared together, y'all are getting into playful throws with each other.
Well, he's a little younger. He's more playful. I'll tell you what, the last time I think I've had an injury, it was preventing him from having one, and it happened 2 times in a row. They had a show, something happened, a bottle broke. Well, Jared's a diehard wrestling fan, like
Yes.
His first instinct is, hell yeah, he didn't think to grab nobody else. He didn't think to do whatever. His first instinct when he sees glass broken is the front flip in it. I'm like, God damn it, dude, you're married, you got a kid. I tried to stop him from doing it. He jammed my thumb. So, he had a few scratches on his back, but I'm the one hurt from trying to stop him to do that.
Yeah, with a sprained thumb or...
Yeah. He jumped in the bottle. And then the next thing which I think he got in trouble with, Twist Alarm, there was just a random table laid out. And you know, when you love wrestling as much as you do, he saw it and was thinking, "All right, tables, ladders,
Yeah,
chairs."
tables, ladders, and chairs.
Grabs Shane from his band, The Void, and tries to throw him through the table. But you know, he got there. It looks like he tried to second guess it. Places him on the table breaks. It's like, goddamn. And then another incident, another glass broke. And sure enough, as I'm looking at him and say, dude, don't think about it. When I look this way, he ran this way. Is already front flipping in it. You know, like, I mean, yeah, I guess like you said earlier when we was talking before the show, like we do feed off each other, but I guess I'm trying to think a little bit older than he is. Because I think if this dude sees like a ladder or any chance, or if somebody's laid out on the ground, instead of helping him up,
He doesn't think construction first thing.
No, I think
with
he's
a
thinking
ladder.
like swan
He thinks,
dive,
yeah. He
swan
thinks Jeff
dive.
Hardy.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna do something, man. As long as it's not New Jack, I think he'd be all right.
So, y'all do have a show coming up on August 11th.
Yeah, twist the line.
And it's going to be Raise the Death Toll, The Void, Silent on 5th Street, and Demon Grim.
I think it's Damon Grimm. I don't know. This is my first time seeing him. I'm excited. If he plays the show, I saw the last show he did, but the bass player, Eddie, is a friend of mine from way, way back. And this is his newest band, but he always works conventions or whatever. But I saw he didn't do the last show. And, yeah, it was supposed to be Mule Skinner. But like, they could do the show, but they can't practice prior to the show. So they dropped off. Silent on 5th Street are good friends of mine from Baltimore, Maryland. And they're coming through. So it kind of worked out to where they was able to have a show to play as opposed to they was just going to stop by and check it out on their way to the next show. Because they're on, I think, a 3-week tour.
Instead, they're getting an opportunity to get
Yeah.
on stage and perform.
Yeah, because we played, Death Toll played with them in February in Baton Rouge. And, I mean, they tore it down, and there wasn't that many people there. It was a Monday night. So I think this will be a more cooler opportunity. That's probably not even real English. But with The Void headlining, Saturday night, Iris's birthday, somebody else's birthday, but I just know Iris. Iris's birthday, The Void, another Void show. This would be their second one of the year. So I think they would have like I think this would be that good New Orleans welcome for a band from Baltimore to where, you know, we have boiled crabs and they're crab cakes. So it kind of goes together.
So one thing that also intrigues me is no matter what, anytime that you see you posting on Facebook, you're always working to try and help promote something within the scene. So much so that when Warped Tour was scheduled to come here this summer, you got together with a bunch of bands and you made a CD. Bands in Your Backyard.
Yeah.
To where it's a compilation of, what, like 15 bands or something like that?
On the physical CD, yeah, it's 15 bands. Allie, that you used to work with, Nairo Radio, she helped me with it. And I want to hopefully branch off, so that's why I didn't have a Louisiana theme to the name or a New Orleans. I wanted to branch off to where I was thinking, like, what's another term we could say for local bands or bands that's not signed? So bands in your own backyard, like, you know, this band's in your own back. You never even heard of them. You know, for the most part, it takes for a local band to play with a national band for anyone around here to even take notice or, I never heard of you. But it's like, man, we've been playing in your damn backyard.
We've been playing at
you
all
haven't
these different
realized
local venues.
And, what inspired it was my girlfriend and I went to Warped Tour last year, and they had bands that would travel with Warped Tour, not playing Warped Tour at all, would travel to try to give their music to the people in line going in. They wouldn't even go into Warped Tour.
Oh, so they were just catching you as you were either going or leaving.
Yeah, they didn't have the money to get in or whatever. Their money was used to follow it, to meet the people outside to get their music away because it was the same general audience.
Right.
So they just followed it to meet the people inside, going in and coming out. But everybody that I saw, this is no shots taken or anything because, I wasn't in the band at the time. and then, people just having fun or whatever. But as much as that, I see posts online about nobody comes to shows, or I need to promote this and that, and I always have like a not necessarily a pet peeve, even though I do it all the time, and I sound like a hypocrite. But just focusing on Facebook to promote, this was an ample time to. I mean, there was a lot of people at Warped Tour to promote your music.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody
You've got your target audience all in one spot.
Yeah. So all the people I knew that were in bands and this was their chance to do it, nobody was doing it. It was people from other states coming to our town, to our
People
territory.
come from Texas or.
I mean, one band came from Utah and they followed it all around.
Wow.
They gave me a CD and I'm like, oh, this is legit, man. Like, you're on tour, not playing. You're on tour promoting.
Yeah,
that's a
just
whole
doing a
different
promotion
animal,
tour.
And I was like, fuck, man, nobody. I don't see it. So with this coming around, I'm in a band now. Warped Tour is coming. I found this one website where it's kind of cheaper to make the CDs. I felt like, man, they're coming on our turf, promoting themselves when we should be doing this. So with that tour being fairly new, I was just going to, at first, in a sense, I was going to make a CD promoting us. But I was like, well, man, what if they don't like just death metal? Like if somebody could come to this person's show and this person's show, it'll bring awareness to the bars that cater to us, to the area, and like all together. So that's when I started asking ones, but I didn't want to pay for the whole CD myself. I guess I could have, but it would show more
Solidarity with the.
well, it'd be
scene,
like
really.
like you pay $10 for a Facebook post because you're serious about it, you want people to see it. So I would ask bands, hey man, if you give me $10, it's not going in my pocket. I'll show you the receipts. I'll show you the invoice. Like, pay for your part to be on it. I'm gonna go out there and do the field work. Just pay your part.
Help
to
pay for the plastic.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, unfortunately, Warped Tour canceled. But I have been handing them out to everybody at the certain shows. Well, what a cool thing with Warped Tour canceling, which it sucked. But that tour got to get on the Salvage show with Hawthorne Heights, this and that, and at the Republic, which
Yes.
I never thought a local band would ever play at, and that was spoiling to say the least, because they had like the digital thing in the background with the logo and everything. But everybody took a CD with all the 15 bands on it, and so I tried to help with the scene, but just from being in it for so long, everybody I know now is in like a second or third band prior to when I met them, and everybody shares each other's posts or tries to help out the next person, even though we're not in the same lane. Not everybody that I'm friends with listens.
Everybody helps everybody.
Exactly, because half of my friends don't even like the kind of music I play, but they might like something like Water, Resurface, or like you just had Tomb Nick Cage on there. That might be more their style. If one of my friends don't like us, they might dig them, and that makes it
Yeah, just as good because
Yeah,
then
exactly.
in the same turn, when they share something of yours, maybe one of their friends may not like their style of music, but someone
Like
that
mine.
they're sharing it with likes your style.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, it's all about the working together and no competition, and just obviously everybody likes music enough to create it or whatever your passion is. There's no reason to hate on the next person. It's not like help them out. Even though we're on, for the most part, with this kind of scene too in New Orleans, everybody in front, nobody's playing the same exact music, which is kind of cool, but it's kind of tricky for the shows as well too. But
Well, it makes it to where it's a variety show to where you can get exposure to several different styles of music all in one
no, you're right.
evening.
That's why it's kind of like one of the things like a gumbo, man.
Yeah.
New Orleans reference. You got all these different things in a pot.
But I know also with the CD, you're continuing to accept songs in and putting them on the
Oh, the Bandcamp.
on the Bandcamp page as well.
Well, I guess it's one of those things. I guess it goes into like being a band, or like you have your podcast. You don't know the reaction you're going to get. You expect big things. For the most part, in all my band times, I expect big. I believe in it. I'm very passionate. But you don't know the response, the outcome of it. You just hope big, but you do it because you love it. You don't, even if there was no great response, you would still do it. Well, when I did that, uh, a lot of people messaged me as if I was like a record company or a promotion company. Like, how do I get a part of it? Oh man, I didn't know about this. I had a lot of emails, but the physical was already sent out, and
Right.
I felt terrible. So for Fourth of July, which I actually got from watching Missy on yours when she was talking about the Independence Day, I wasn't trying to take the heat away from the Pharaoh in New Orleans, but I was like, man, that's a good idea. Like Independence Day, independent bands. I would accept a few of them to put on the Bandcamp. Now, granted, it's not the physical release, but it's
There's
free,
still a lot of people who are getting it. It's free to download.
very free. I mean, you just boom, and you can get all of them at once.
Yeah.
So to myself, all right, we had 15. I was going to take in 5. But when I got all of them in, for the heart of me, I couldn't say no to none of them, to where, well, if I got the email and they're passionate enough about their music, I'll put it on there. I'm not nobody. I'm not, anybody could have done this. Anybody can still do this. You could take all your favorite bands and all that, put a playlist to where it's not you or the 3 or 4 members in your band that's sharing it. Now you have, hey man, I'm gonna make a band camp. You want to put your CD? Hey, you're in the band. You want to put your CD? Now you have 3 people sharing one page. It's like
And everybody, yeah.
It's multiple exposure. Anybody could have done. Just like with the compilation, I didn't feel like it was bigger than anything anybody else was doing. It was just something I was inspired. But anybody and everybody could still do this. I mean, to help out everybody, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling, but like it's not no feet, and Bandcamp doesn't charge you anything to do it. You just got to get, I mean, for the most part, the band's permission to put the song on there. But Independence Day, 4th of July, I saw him it almost got up to like 100 shares that page just by adding these bands just to be on
Right.
the Bandcamp, and that's from everywhere from Monroe, Louisiana to, I mean, of course, majority of them New Orleans. But, I mean, there was like Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. So that was the cool part about the Bandcamp expansion, because it reached out more than the ones I was friends with and was able to toss
Right.
me
You're
the
getting
$10.
you're getting an audience wider than New Orleans.
Yeah. I mean, all of Louisiana, which, one of the goals I would think for any band, I mean, you want to conquer the world, but from what I understand is you want to conquer the state you live in, whether it's a small town that nobody's ever heard of, or where you told me Devin had to go out of this morning.
Yeah, Leesville or something like that.
Yeah, like if there's a bar there that you could conquer it. Like you want to get all of your state before, to me, I mean, at least to me, before you even venture off and thinking about Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas,
Florida, yeah.
yeah, Florida. I mean, yeah.
So I know that your band is working on a recording right now. How's that coming along?
It's coming along good. We're trying to do 5 songs, and it's just Gavin and I. Gavin, he does all the music, and I was gonna say write the words, do the vocals. For the last song, he wrote the vocals, wrote the lyrics too, and I just did the vocals. So he's literally one step away from not even needing me at all if he would record himself. But yeah, it's amazing. He has his own home studio, which really intrigued me from getting to it at first. How we found each other, I was ready to do it, and I made this post. And Kyle Thomas from Exhorter,
Right.
Floodgate, Trouble, he shared it. And me and Gavin knew each other from like the TUC days. But he had all these instrumentals he didn't know what to do, because he's really into the black metal, all this and that. And he had these instrumentals. I'm like, dude, if you allow me to sing over them, I'm cool. How are we going to do this? And he has a studio, which makes it easy because we get to record for free, and we're 3.5 songs out of 5 deep into what you looking at?
I was just making sure it's still running.
No, 3.5 songs out of 5 deep into this recording. The writing's been a little, I guess, trickier for me because I'm trying to do horror stories as opposed to, I guess, things that I would harbor about and get over, like 5 minutes later. So I've been taking like a certain movie or something, putting myself in a character's perspective and writing from there. And so I just got vocals to do on one song, and then we're gonna write another one fresh with the input of Jarrett, because he's into that style, and if Mike, if he wants to put in, they just fill in members, but to have like an outside source for this one final song for the CD, and then it'll be done. And when we're hoping to do a free CD release party at Babylon with a music video shoot.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so have it 2 in 1 to where we want to celebrate, and we want people to come celebrate with us, to where if you don't have money, you don't need it. I mean, unless you want to drink or something, but I know Babylon is cool with doing like free shows, as opposed to that. So we just want people to come celebrate with us when we have our CD out. We don't want people to have money to have like the consideration of them not wanting to come have a good time with us when we have like a good part of our career or whatever. We just come out, party and jam, and get drunk, even if I have to buy you the beer or not if you broke.
So you'd mentioned horror stories. I know that you are a huge horror movie fan, and if you notice your tattoos, you have several horror characters tattooed on you. Do you have a particular favorite horror character?
No, not a particular one. Let's see if I get it on there. No, lately I would think I'd be more fine, which I don't have them yet. I ran out of room on my arm. I'm probably gonna have to get them on my back because I don't have no room up here. But Hatchet Face, I don't know if you're familiar with Victor Crowley, but he's like, if you would support local music, he'd be like the local horror guy you would support.
Yeah.
Because he's in the swamps of Louisiana. He has 3 of them out. But no, I like them all for their own different reasons. It's hard to pick a favorite. Yeah, I mean, the closest one I would say is Hatchet, and he came later. But I mean, all of them have their own special thing that hits me to where, and none of them really scare me. I just like the character, If anything, the ones that scare me the most would be like how Paranormal Activities film, like the POV to where you can kind of get lost in it. But you can't get those tattooed on me by any means. But yeah, I don't have a favorite. I like them all. The more B movie, gory, cheesy, the better.
Well, on the same note, do you have a tattoo that you consider to be one of your favorites, or one that has the most meaning to you?
Probably my Hooters tattoo with the chicken legs. I think out of all the tattoos, this one I visit daily. There might be days where I don't watch a horror movie or two, but if I'm off the boat, I'm most probably gonna be at Hooters, drinking or eating. So I'd probably say that one, or the Tug Life tattoo. That's where I work at. So I'm there all the time, and having a good job like that's kind of enabled me to do cool things and have the freedom, on my weeks off to jam out or be able to afford Hooters, I guess.
So you mentioned the Tug Life. One of the things that I have seen you update with when you are out on the boat here and there is you'll update of pictures with food that's cooked on the boat. To where, like, from what I kind of gather, it's like you and the captain who are going head to head with different meals. Is that what
it's probably more head to mouth because my captain, actually, his name's Mike Thomas. Give him a shout out. He was the original. What happened? Are we still good? He's the original guitar player for Aggravate. I only know how to cook a few meals that I've learned it from the boat. Other than that, I could just microwave shit. It's my captain, Mike, that would just look up a recipe and just make it his own. And that's why I say head to mouth, because it comes out of his head and into my mouth. And as gross as that sounded. But I'm just, I mean, this dude made like a pizza spaghetti to where it's spaghetti, but it's a pizza topping. I think the coolest thing I've learned to cook is my old captain, Royce Legg. He used to be in Delta Crutch. I don't know if you ever heard of Delta Crutch, but he was a captain. He's in Miami now. And it's all trial and error. He wanted to make a shepherd's pie, and we didn't have potatoes. So what you do is you make the basic meat part that the meat and all this and that you would for a shepherd's pie. But instead of mashed potatoes, it was tater tots with Tony's on it, and then cheese and jalapenos on top of that. So that's probably one of the ones I could make. But as far as like the meals on the boat here lately, yeah, it's on my captain. Like they give me shit because the only way I can make red beans is with 2 Blue Runner cans. So yeah, I'm not much of the cook, but yeah, I take pictures of what he does, and and then when I see old pictures of me when I was lighter compared to now, it's because of those pictures
It's
you see
because
of
of
me.
those
Yeah.
pictures that you posted. Yeah.
But yeah, it's all him, man. I can't even take nothing from that. I mean, this dude cooks. I mean, he's a black dude that makes Chinese food, so you can't get no better than that. I don't know. Yeah, he's awesome cook. So it's not me. I make the basic meals. So it's not head to head. It's head to mouth, I would say.
Let's see. Just looking at my list of notes that I had here. Where can people follow you?
Hopefully not to my house. No.
Follow you and the band and
Well, hopefully they don't follow me. The band, Facebook.com, Raise the Death Toll. And then we have a band camp. I try to post as much stuff as I can on YouTube. Really, until the CD comes out, I haven't explored many avenues. But I know and I guess this is for all the bands out there that don't know it, if you pay one small fee to DistroKid, they put you on all of it. Like, they'll take your music. It goes on Spotify. It goes on Amazon Prime. It goes on iTunes. And it's just one small fee. And they set up everything for you. So I guess until this CD comes out, it's really just the Facebook and the
band camp.
Bandcamp, yeah.
I did also see recently that y'all are now a part of Breaking Boundaries.
Yeah, that's kind of like how you mentioned you're going more towards a YouTube thing. This is a promotional company that's just starting out. It's by this guy Hector up in New York. I'm always online promoting, and we get into I get in these little groups and talk to these people, and for the most part, there's few that don't like the band, but when people like it, they really like it. And they're trying to be a YouTube promotional company that's starting out on Facebook, of course, to get the likes out, this and that. But it's going to be a YouTube-based promotional company, and they wanted us to be a part of the first roster. And so they just starting out, so I don't know what's going to happen yet, but everything they do that they promote is going to have a YouTube video to go with it, and it's based in New York. Yeah, so I mean, we're excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, man, that's a.
Oh yeah, well, we've been
That's
part
a
of a
cool
couple
idea.
compilations in different, like how I did the band camp for Louisiana. There's a cat out in Germany that's done one. He's added us. There's this little dude out in England that does one. He added us. I just meet these people, and for the most part, it's just seeing a post. Hey, I'm looking for bands to add to a band camp out of so and so, and I'll submit, and it's just free. Whether it's 1 or 5 people, it's still, getting out there. And for like the August 11th show that you brought up, we'll have 2 new shirts. And because of these little groups, one was designed by this kid in Indonesia, and another one's designed by this guy named Robert out of England. So, yeah, just meeting all these people around the world that like the music and want to help out has been contributing one way or another. And it's just all from the power of Facebook and just networking. So, but yeah, that's Breaking Boundaries. I think that's a cool name too.
Yeah.
And I mean, which hopefully all the bands from this area or whatever area that saw it, they you just submit it. It wasn't like just exclusive to us. So hopefully, it kind of opens the door for other ones in the New Orleans area or Louisiana to email them and get on it. But that's all. It's going to be like a YouTube-based promotional company.
Well, that's cool. I look forward to seeing what comes out of that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So, Brawla, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to remind everybody again, be sure to go check out Brawla and Raise the Death Toll, The Void, Silent on 5th Street and Damon Grimm over at Twist. It's going to be on August 11th. Probably about 10 o'clock is when the show starts, or 9 o'clock.
With 4 bands, how we try to do it, the doors are open at 8, and the first band are going right at 9. So
Yeah.
you're not waiting to see the Void at like 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever that. And yep, I think $8 I read. So that's not bad. And Iris' birthday.
Iris' birthday. So be sure to check them out. Also go and check them out on Facebook and on Bandcamp. You can check out the CD. The CD is Bands in Your Backyard. It's available on Bandcamp. It's bandsinyourbackyard.bandcamp.com. So, again, thank you, Brawla.
Oh, thank you, man.
You going to stick around for a little adventure here?
I think I have to, man. Yeah. This shit's so comfortable and I'm drunk. I think, if anything, you have to wake me up tomorrow and Pickle scoop me out of the chair so I can go home in the morning, man.
So, thank you, Brawla.
Oh,
So
thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more of The Scoop. So, Mr. Brawla, we have a very special game set up for you. Tonight, we are going to do a little bit of karaoke.
All right. I like it.
Mr. Brawla, when you were 10, what year would that have been?
That would have been 1995.
So, we're going to take one of the biggest songs of 95, and we're going to reenact it. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio.
Yeah!
All right, that's a good one.
Yeah!
I keep feeling like I'm talking in a Pickle's dick with how green this is.
So stay tuned. We'll be back with that in just a second.
Oh, that's not bad. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Been treated like a punk, that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking or where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta look. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night saying prayers in the street light.
Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the streets, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got a 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a low down gangster set tripping banger, and my homies are down, so don't arouse my anger. Pickle, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living like do or die. What can I say?
I'm 23 now, will I live to see 24? The way things are going, I don't know.
Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
Power, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour. Everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If I can't understand it, how can they teach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool.
Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? All right, so there you have it, folks. Tonight's show.
Yeah,
Hope you all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it.
that's pretty fun.
Be sure to check out Raise the Death Toll. They will be playing at Twist the Lime on, I believe it's August 11th. Yes, August 11th. They'll be playing with The Void, Silent on 5th Street, and Damon Grimm. You can also check out the Bands in Your Backyard CD. If you catch up with Brawla, he may still have some of the physical copies, but you can go to bandsinyourbackyard.bandcamp.com and download it for free. He's added, as he said during the interview, he's added a handful of more songs to it from what the CD alone had. You can check out Raise the Death Toll on Facebook, facebook.com/Raise the Death Toll. You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Scoop Show, at P Scoop Podcast on Twitter. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app. You can check us out on YouTube. If you're watching this video, please click the subscribe link below.
And like the video.
Yes. Mr. Devin, where can people check out you and all of your artwork?
Well, I started to release things on YouTube again, so you can check me out on YouTube, Devin Flamingo. You can also go to my website, which is devinflamingo.com. That is DevinFlamingo.com.
All right.
I do not have a Twitter because I think Twitter is useless. Oh, you can also check me on Instagram. That's actually been kind of popping. I actually really like using Instagram. It's a very simple outlet. But you can check me out there, Devin Flamingo, all one word, all lowercase.
All right. So keep on checking us out. We'll have several more interviews coming up here very soon. I don't want to release any of our secrets.
I do want to say one thing.
Yes.
I want to say happy birthday to one of our dear friends, Rickley.
Oh, Rickley, yes. Rickley, happy birthday. I hope you get all of the tiger food that you need to feed your tiger.
And your elephants.
And your elephants
parrots,
and parrots and
lizards,
giraffes, wolves,
stingrays,
dolphins, yes. So that being said, happy birthday, Rickley. Till the next show, Scoop out.